anniversary Rocktober tour, and what a hell of a tour it's been. It had to end somewhere, so tonight, the St James, there are still some door sales available, so you can get in.
Hello, lads. Good evening. Yes, you've come to the very conclusion of the national tour here, and I think tonight's going to be very interesting. We're all primed and ready.
How long
We're
till
ready
we're on?
to rock. We've only got 10 minutes.
We better get this down.
It's trifle, and it's full of brandy. And that's how old men get their kicks these days. So there's 2,000 people out there. It's the last night for us playing as a band, but for them, the music keeps going. So that's a good attitude.
We toured non-stop for 2 years. We just reached the stage where, what do we do now? You know, we can't keep on touring relentlessly because it's going to drive us mad. You know?
Back in the war years, I killed 2,000.
Back then, there really was only one way to go, and that was to go somewhere else and hope to get some sort of record company pickup. In late '79, we went to Australia for a month, supporting the Members, which was great fun and hugely awful at the same time.
It was Fear and Loathing in Wagga Wagga, you know. Can't begin to tell you how tough it was. We'd be crammed into a rental car and you know, like we'd hop in the car and drive 4 hours so that we could start at 6:45, the bottom of a bill of bands that weren't very good.
So there'd be maybe 6 people there, and they'd all, you know, say, "Yeah, get off, you know, play something we all know, play something fast."
We were just jamming in this hotel room in Coogee, and it was really hot, you know, as it always is in Sydney. We had a barbecue and a few beers and stuff. We headed up to the room, sat there, thought, oh, we should write a song, you know. And then we started jamming these chords. I think within minutes we had Drink Yourself More Bliss.
It just started out as a song we wrote in Australia because we couldn't believe how they drink over there.
It was a total piss take. They wrote it because they were so pissed off with that whole Australian rock and roll mentality, you know.
Originally it was called Piss, the song was called Piss, obviously. But when we came to record it, our producer Rob Aiken said it's a great song, but stations won't play it if it's called Piss, so why don't we call it Bliss? Which we thought, well, that's even better than Piss. So.
Ian and I would throw various lyrics at it that didn't particularly mean anything. I think the ya 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 and the riff was the two things that got people hooked on it, and then after that it doesn't really matter what you're singing.
You know, I think I need some speed to get it up the Coogee, you know, it's like, better change those lyrics.
There's a line in Bliss that goes something like, "Get at the Coogee, hello sailor cruisy, buy some Spanish shoes," or something. So we get a name check in one of the songs.
You know, we'd come from adulation in New Zealand to get off in Australia, and that showed me what it was going to be like in Australia, because when we were nobody in Sydney, why should we be?
We toured Australia on the you know, smell of an oily rag. No money, no food, really. Got to that point, you know, where life was pretty lean.
And I guess we all thought when we got back home, are you ready to go and do that for however long? There's no guarantee that we would make it. We could have just gone over there and just got lost in the dust.
Everyone was just like, oh no, what do we do? Do we go back to the friggin' cabana and the bloody Castle Cliff in Whanganui, or do we go to Aussie and play in Wagga Wagga in Newcastle? Oh, let's just break up. I mean, it's pretty obvious, really, you know, that was going to happen.
You know, I took Dave up to the Alexander Tavern and said, I'm going to leave the band.
I just wanted to do it for the rest of my life, and there was no two questions about that for me. So I sort of assumed that the band would stay together forever, which is always a mistake.
So when I told Dave, he went into a state of shock.
At the time, I took it very hard. But now, you know, it was fine. It was a good experience.
There was no rendering asunder of the band all of a sudden. It just sort of, you know, not with a bang but a whimper, really.
They did their farewell at Main Street, which was packed, and Ian played in the Nude. Hey.
It was the oddest thing, because I think he had a pair of boots on and a Stratocaster guitar, and all I could see was his butt.
I did, yeah, the second half I played in the Nude. I'm not quite sure where I got the idea from, apart from maybe it was in the bottom of a bottle of Jack Daniels. Perhaps that's where it came from.
It's just as well he didn't play the guitar like that, you know, because he was strategically placed, you know.
I remember at the end of it, you know, basically we would have all stood up and said, see you later, and shook our hand and walked off. But we got back together one more time to finish off some recording, which I think we started.
I think we managed to have a life as a band and end a life as a band in a relatively dignified way. You know, and that's part of the reason why it's so easy to get back together, I think, because there were no nasty divisions or anything. We all still cared very much about each other, more than we knew, actually.
And builds until ding, 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 and then it's like this. Here it is. Unleash the dogs.
People who look like they're about to go bird watching quietly in the park somewhere suddenly leap out of their seats and turn into maniacal moshers. Grey hair and arms in the air, you know. It's had that life, you know, so songs have been attached to sporting victories and people's 21st and weddings and barbecues and all those things, so you've got to think of those, and all of those things are contained in that room, so you can't deny an audience that celebration. It's a great thing, you know, it really is.
And that's why I go out there, because you're right in the funk of it. You know, you can smell their body heat, and you can see that they're sweating too, you know. And then I stick the mic on them so that they can go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're just blowing their minds. You know, you know that you're leaving them with something that they're going to hold on to for a long time. So who wouldn't want to be dealing in that, you know?
Fantastic! You're fantastic!